everybody, and welcome back to the Replayer Podcast. I'm Pagan, and I'll be your host for this week's episode, alongside my wonderful co-host, Dan.
What's up?
What's up? And joining us this week are Ian and Abi, new guests this week. Hello, guys.
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Hello.
So, welcome to the show.
And thank you for having me.
You're welcome.
Thank
You're
you.
welcome. Two great replayers here. Thank you so much for coming on. We don't really know anything about you. I've known Abby from streams. She joins in my streams. Super supportive and a great replayer on the live chat. And obviously, Ian, we
Super
had
supportive.
spoken a bit in the live chat before, and you joined my stream
have.
recently. So thank you so much.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah. When we get new guests on the show, we like to hear a little bit about who you are and how you find the retro replay community, and then we can delve into it and ask you some questions. So, I am going to start it off with Abby. Tell us a bit about your retro replay journey.
Okay, well, I found it through Jacksepticeye.
Oh, no way!
It come up on my recommended, but I'll give it a go.
No worries. Did you know about Troy and Nolan before? Have you heard of who they were?
Yeah, I've played some of their games.
Okay, that's cool. How long have you been following Jacksepticeye?
Yeah.
No
Wow.
way. Do you know, I think I only discovered Jacksepticeye last year. I only sort of discovered he existed. Somebody was we were having a conversation about PewDiePie. Someone was like, he's got the most subscribers or whatever in the world in the gaming industry. And I was like, no way. And he's just hit 100 million. And somebody was like, yeah, but the Irish lad is 20 something million. And I was like, what Irish guy? And then I had to look it up, and now I'm obsessed.
I didn't know who Jacksepticeye was either until I heard about him through Retro Replay.
No way. So you're the opposite.
Never heard of him. Yeah.
There you go. And now your life is so much more wholesome because Jacksepticeye and Retro Replay are both in it. You're welcome.
I still haven't seen Jacksepticeye. I've never seen him.
Go along with it, Dan. Jesus Christ.
Oops.
No, man, he's pretty cool. He's pretty cool. If you're a fan, Abby, did you see? I think Jacksepticeye did a thing when he was out in LA with an interview with Troy.
I did watch that, yeah.
Yeah, that was a really interesting interview. I really enjoyed that. I like seeing two creatives come together. Also, Dan, you need to get on that because it's a really good, it's a really good interview. Jacksepticeye is Sean McLaughlin. He's from Ireland and he is super high energy, great streamer. But then those little few, interviews, he had one with Matt Mercer and Troy Baker. They're very lower in energy and just low key and let's just chill and have a glass of wine and have a chat. And it was whatever. It's really wholesome, Dan. Get on it.
Okay.
That's
man.
really cool. That's really cool, Abby. So how long have you been in the retro replay community? How soon did you find it after you?
When Jacksepticeye posted a video of Roy Nolan announcing the Uncharted playthrough, did the first game. I've kind of watched them then.
Oh, it's a bit. Have you gone back to all the other episodes, or have you just started from the Uncharted playthroughs and watched on?
When I've got a chance to come back to the
Oh, good call. It's really nice to go back and watch what they did before, I guess. Sometimes, if you have the chance, have a moment, pop down.
It's really nice to go back and see a log of people's content. When you discover Retro Replay for the first time and you're like, oh, there's 2 seasons of content to watch. And then you just devour it or, depending on how much you do it, you get. And that's the hope that maybe one day somebody will be doing that with our podcast. They'll just be like, I got to get all of this and go back and listen to everything or watch everything that we make.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's also really interesting to see progression from someone's previous episodes or whatever, their first content or whatever. I think their first episode is 15 minutes long or 20 minutes long.
Yeah.
And now they're doing over an hour. Some episodes have gone over an hour and a half. And you're like,
yeah, crazy.
Really bigging up that content. Thank you, Abby. Thank you so much for that. Ian, what about you? How did you find Retro Replay?
I believe I found Retro Replay through Brian and Amelia.
Really? I'm loving that you guys have come from other media creators or content creators. It's cool.
Because I got my PlayStation 4 last year, so obviously I knew I had to get through all the exclusives, and I played through Detroit. Absolutely loved. Found them on Twitch, and found their Discord, and then through their Discord, I found Retro Replay. And I thought, well, I'd heard of Troy and Nolan. I knew Nolan more first because I knew he was Desmond Miles in Assassin's Creed, which is my favourite. So, I think I came to Retro Replay. They must have been partway through season 2, so last year. But I have since gone back and watched through everything several times. much to the annoyance of my wife, probably, but I think she likes them too, so it's okay.
She secretly likes it.
Hell yeah. And I became a member only last month when they announced the tiers. So I thought, I've got to do that.
Yeah,
So
that's great.
Here we are, yeah.
That's amazing. That's the same for you, Abby, right? You've been a member for a month?
Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. Just about when they announced the tiers.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Ah, that's so cool. How are you liking the community? Like, I think there's a lot of similarities between like the Connor Army community and Retro Replay community.
Very positive in my experience. It's strange. Someone said something in the Retro Replay Discord earlier about it's weird to see a community this big that's so positive and welcoming. There doesn't seem to be any like negativity around at all.
Yeah.
Which is great. Especially when you're coming into such a big, well-established community, you can be a bit nervous. Like, think, oh, how are people gonna react to new people coming in, stuff like that.
I come in by playing Detroit and then doing all the wrong decisions and having people furious with me.
I had that when I played it, to be fair, because I streamed it and people were like, to be fair, they didn't try and tell me which way to go. They let me go themselves, but I could just see by some of the reactions in chat, like, oh, I probably shouldn't have done that.
Oh, no way.
I streamed it with a bunch of the replayers watching and a few of a lot of Detroit fans, and like I had people literally yelling at me like, "You're doing it wrong," and I'm like,
oh, no.
I'm doing it the way I want to do it. I don't care how you're supposed to do it.
Yeah, exactly.
It's really interesting. Like, I do it the other way around. If I have a decision-making game and if I stream it or anything, I'm like, all right, guys, like, let me know, what do you think I should do? Like, should I go this way? Should I go that way? Like, what's the more interesting story? Especially if I haven't played it before, I'd ask them. Which is interesting that you guys are just like, I'm going to follow this path. Fuck y'all. Like, I'm just going to do it. I don't care what you're thinking.
I played Detroit very much on the, like, I'm the robot, kill all humans. I don't give a crap about people kind of thing. People were not happy about that.
Rebellion. I think someone recently did it. I think Bruised Lee. Anybody know him on Twitch? Bruised Lee. Somebody for you to check out, Ian. He's pretty great. He did like the first time I came onto his stream, he was also doing a Detroit playthrough, and it was like a dark mode playthrough or a demon mode playthrough where he's just like all the bad decisions, killing everybody, robots, humans, whatever, just killing everybody. And I was like, this is fun to watch because I would never make those decisions. I suck at that. I just want everything to work out, and I don't want anybody to die.
To be happy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
get
suck.
that.
But you know what's fascinating is because like a lot of the times when I'm playing those games, someone will be like, "Oh, if you don't move, if you don't move with Kara, and she, and it's the moment where you break the digital wall, in the house." And they're like, "Oh yeah, but if you don't move, like the girl dies." And I was like, "Wait, really? Like they do that in a game? They can just kill off a little kid? Like, oh my god, yeah."
Yeah.
Accidentally done that in that game.
Have you?
By accident. Yeah.
Oh, no.
I would have too. I mean, I didn't know that. I mean, when they were like, "Don't move," I was like, "Okay." It's just like, all right then, I guess so. And then eventually, like, I started moving, and it was like, "Yeah, break the wall." And I was like, "Oh, I can actually break this." And then I ended up saving her. And it wasn't until later somebody was like, "Yeah, if you don't move, she dies." I was like, "Oh."
Oh.
Which I'm kind of okay with, if I'm honest now looking back, because I just kind of hated that whole storyline. I was like, if she dies in the beginning, I'm sure that gets much more interesting.
This kid is always cold. Someone give her a blanket.
Right? Oh, maybe it's just be with kids in games. I don't know. I don't know. Even God of War, I was like, boy, you. That's great.
I think I've tested that in a couple of games. Like, can you kill the child?
Can you? Can it be done? Asking
what
for
if? And then you like ending up like pointing arrows at them and everything. Like, no, it's fine.
I recently heard about an old game I don't remember what it was on, but it was like a Jesus game where you had to like carry Moses through the desert or something, and as a baby, and they were saying like you could throw the baby in a river, and it would just immediately like teleport back to your hands.
Oh no!
The fact that
It's
the fact that they put the mechanic in to throw the baby in the first place is interesting.
Yeah.
The fact, like, because it's still just gonna morph back into.
You could do it.
Yeah.
You probably shouldn't, but you could.
Ian, you said that before that you had found them obviously through Twitch, and you found like the Connor Army community through Twitch and everything. Would you be interested in seeing like a Retro Replay Twitch channel or a live stream channel where they're playing games live instead of just the Retro Replay couch?
I don't know actually, because the one thing I've always liked about Retro Replay is I would be quite happy to just sit there and listen to them talk without them playing the game at all. Like I could just sit there and listen to them, tell them their stories and all the voices and stuff. And like if they talked for 50 minutes and played the game for 10, I'd be happy.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, tonight's live stream was pretty fun. I know that was just them sitting there and chatting to everybody, but I think they do it well enough on there. I don't. If they wanted to start a Twitch, I'd give them a follow and want them over there. Sure.
On that note, so you guys are new members, so that was your first live stream, right?
Oh yeah.
Yes. Yeah, so that's what they're normally like.
Yeah. Chat goes crazy.
That was probably actually one of the more cohesive live members chats.
Yeah.
Like they actually were talking to us the whole time. Normally they will go on their own tangents and talk to themselves for 20 minutes.
To be
and
fair,
we're all sitting there like, look at us.
To be fair, this is the second members live stream where they've gone off on a tangent about football and mascots. And the rest of the UK are just like, huh?
Huh?
Yeah, like have no idea what the heck they're talking about. Yeah, how did you guys enjoy the live stream? The live chat, members live chat. Abby, what'd you think?
It was fun.
Do you think it's so hard to keep up? There was 199 people, I think, in the live chat at one point. Almost 200 people in the members live chat. And it's just too hard to keep up. Because usually, I think, in the Retro Replay premieres in the live chat, it's kind of okay. And you can kind of have a steady conversation with Abby or with Ian. It'd be like, oh yeah, this, and then you're writing back to each other, whereas this is just crazy.
That was mental. Yeah, when the countdown started initially, the chat just went, there's no way you could have read any of that unless you, well, I don't know, unless you were the android sent by Cyberlife.
Yeah.
It's the only way you could have read that.
Preloaded into your consciousness.
Yeah.
Hook it to my veins. Alrighty. What did you, like, I asked Ian about a potential, like, would you like Retro Replay to live stream or on Twitch or anything? And you kind of made a face, Dan. Do you think that would be something you'd be interested in? Or you're like, nah, fuck that.
The face was, I don't know how they would, because there's some busy guys.
Yeah.
That's
like,
true.
I can't imagine Troy Nolan being able to sit and play for more than a few hours that they already don't do when they're doing Retro Replay or definitive playthroughs or whatever else they might be working on now that we don't know about yet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, true.
So maybe a live stream with crew, with Drew or PJ.
That'd be
or
so
this
cool.
new Tom, who is it? Tom,
the single
and
intern.
who am I missing? Pagan. Who am I missing?
Stephanie.
And
Paul.
I said PJ.
Yeah, PJ, Paul. PJ.
Is there a Paul and a PJ?
Yeah, Paul's sound guy.
PJ,
Paul, Stephanie, Tom, Drew, Nolan, and Troy. That's all I know so far.
Yeah.
Stalker much?
Don't at me, Drew, if I don't know who's on your team. Christ. Am I stalker much? No. I pay attention. Excuse you. I was there at the members live stream for charity, right? Or the charity stream where they introduced everybody. Okay.
I'm sorry I couldn't be there. I had things to do.
Prioritize, Dan. All right. All right, enough of that bullshit. Let's go into a Q&A before we get into it with the discussion.
Yay, the new segment. Do. Retro Replayers. Q&A. How do you like my jingle?
Please,
That's
yes.
amazing. Just sound
bite that. Yes.
Do. Replayer Q&A.
It's so deadpan as well.
Just no emotion, just dead inside.
Just like Phil Kensington style, like welcome to the Q&A.
Yeah. Where we get to know
Welcome to the
replayers.
Replayer Q&A.
Hey.
We are going to begin now. Question 1.
Do
Do you like video games?
Yeah. Do you want to
Yes
know
or
more
no?
about your retro replayers? Then come on
Do you
down.
want to get
Come
to
on
know your
down.
replayers?
The Phil Kensington's Q&A.
Come to the Replayer Podcast,
I love it.
where
I
we
live for
meet
this moment.
replayers.
Brilliant.
Go.
Go. Do you consider yourself a gamer? Abby, do you consider yourself a gamer? Do you play video games a lot? Are you new to the whole thing? What do you think?
I'd say I'm a gamer.
Good answer. What is your preferred platform?
PlayStation.
Yeah, girl. I feel you. Do you... Sorry, Dan. Dan is Team Xbox. Do you have a favorite game?
I don't know. I'm leaning towards saying Batman Arkham Knight. That's because I played it before.
Okay.
That's a good game.
Arkham Knight, not Arkham Asylum?
I like the Arkham series.
Yeah, the Arkham series is pretty good. All right, Dan, we get it, fanboy.
My PlayStation controller, even though I'm an Xbox fanboy.
Yeah, you are
Sure,
an
my
Xbox fanboy. I know that you're trying to like make yourself less, but you are pure evil.
But I have PlayStation controller that's purple.
Nah, that's
My Xbox is downstairs on the big TV.
No. I have my Xbox in the sitting room too. Except it's not my Xbox and I don't play it at all. Arkham Knight. That's a good that is a good choice. I actually have not played the rest of the Arkham series. I like the Arkham Asylum, but I am playing my way through Arkham City and Arkham Knight very shortly, and it might be on Twitch. Bum, bum, bum. What games are you looking forward to this year, if any? Are you looking forward to any new releases this year?
Resident Evil 3 and
Yes.
and The Last of Us, definitely.
Super
Yes.
emphatic, yes.
Super emphatic. You big Resident Evil fan?
I've played the second remake
Okay.
and 7.
So you definitely need to tune in when me and Brandy stream playing the original Resident Evil games.
I will stream in. I will definitely do that because
You're gonna stream in?
Tune into your stream. That's what I meant to say. It's
Stream
late,
into the
Dan.
stream.
God.
Come tune in to the streams where we play the video games.
The video games.
The video
The
game.
video games. Abby, that's pretty cool. I cannot play horror games. I don't do it. It scares the crap out of me. Makes some entertaining content, I guess, but
I think
Can't
you
do it.
proved that when you played Man of Medan the other day.
Yeah, and do you know what? I'm actually really liking the game. I didn't think I would. I put it down and I was like, you know what? This is not a game for me. Whatever. I'm not gonna stream it anymore. Blah. And then I was thinking about it today while I was at work, and I was like, I should really play some more of that game because now I'm invested in the stories, and I kind of want to make sure everybody's okay. So I probably, you'll see it. I'll probably.
I want to save the peoples.
Yeah, see, again, it's the whole Detroit thing. Like, it's multiple choice, and I have to save everybody.
Save them all.
Can't kill
Well, yeah,
anybody.
you had the same thing with Until Dawn, right?
Yeah.
'Cause
Until
it's
Dawn,
from
I
the same
think
studio.
everybody survived except for the last QuickTime event in my Until Dawn playthrough myself. Everybody fucking survived. I got everybody survived until the last playthrough, and I was the last bit, and it was Hayden Panettari's character, and it's the last QuickTime event that you have to escape, and I missed it. And she
Well,
died,
if
and I
somebody
was
had to die.
like, right?
Take one for the team, it's fine. Sorry, Hayden.
Yeah. That's really cool. I think props to you for playing horror games, really, because nah.
That's the way to go.
What game would you like to see the guys play on the future episode of Retro Replay?
I'm not sure.
Do you think you'd like to see them delve into the Resident Evil world?
I think it'd be
Mm-hmm.
I've been wanting them to play Resident Evil 1 since the beginning. I've been talking about that.
Yeah.
And to follow up with Pagan's question, I'm assuming you're kind of like a newer gamer, so you probably haven't played a lot of like older games. Abby?
sorry, it lagged.
Oh,
Oh, that's no problem. So
don't
have you
worry.
played
Sometimes you
any
attend
older
games.
games?
I played the original Spyro and Crash
Yeah.
Little, but
There you
other
go.
than that, not really.
See, now from them days, like playing the PlayStation 1, do you have any favorites from back then that you would like to see the guys play?
I don't know because I can't really remember.
What about Spyro though? That would be cool.
Spyro would be good.
That'd be
Spyro
good,
would
yeah.
be good, especially because of the remake. Now, well, the remastered version.
Remaster.
Reignited trilogy, whatever
But-
it's called.
yeah.
Technically, remake.
Technically,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay. Well, there you go. That would be cool. I think that would be something they should have done when the remake was being released.
Yeah.
But yeah, that would be a cool game to see them, or even just delve
If
into
I
something
wanna-
like Resident Evil.
If we want to do some education, a
Gather around,
remaster
folks.
is when they take the game and they polish it. A remaster or a remake is when they build it from the ground up again.
Okay.
Right. So like
so
the
they
new
would
Resident
have
Evil
to
2,
remake it. Yeah, I see what you mean.
yeah, it's remade. They start all over from scratch essentially and make all new elements.
Oh, see, learn something new every day, kids.
Every
never
day's a
did.
school day.
Yeah, every day's a school day. All right, moving on to Ian. Who's your favorite Retro Replay host? Troy or Nolan?
Oh, you can't do that.
Yeah, I know. I just wanted to
Oof.
mess with you.
Drew!
That is a curveball.
Uh,
Are we
All
picking
right,
sides
here's-
now?
No, it's okay. It's okay. Who's your favorite Replayer podcast host? I'm just kidding. I'm just
Oof.
messing with you. You don't have to answer that either.
I'm leaving.
No.
I'm assuming if you don't say pagan, you're all of a sudden just gonna go bloop and just disappear.
Yeah, just disappear.
And it won't be
There's
just
never
off of the
a-
podcast. It'll be off the face of the earth. Just bloop, and you disappear. No, do you consider yourself a gamer?
Definitely.
Obviously. Look at you.
Yes. Look
Twitch, Mixer, on the
Look at all this
streams,
crap
coming
in
in
the
my
background.
stream. Look at all that nice artwork in the background. Come on now.
Come on.
Yeah. That's awesome. Do you have a preferred platform?
Xbox, because I think it's been the one I've been with the longest. Although I do
Fist
have
bump.
the 3 fist bump.
No, y'all.
Yeah, got to be Xbox because before then I was Nintendo all the way, and I still
Really?
enjoy
I am not
Nintendo.
alone.
Yeah, GameCube onto the Wii from the N64 upwards. Yeah, and then it was actually my wife's brother that introduced me to an Xbox, and we got one back in 2011, and yeah, I've been with them ever since. As I say, I only got my PlayStation last year
Mhm.
purely because of Spider-Man. Like that
Yes.
game was
Mm.
like, and then obviously I knew that there was loads of really good exclusives on here, like Uncharted and The Last of Us, which again I only played the first time last year and loved it. So,
Good.
yeah, but Xbox is what I'm usually on more so than anything else.
Feel ya. I pretty much own my PlayStation purely for exclusives.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's pretty much what I do. I don't play online on it or anything. All my friends that I play with are on Xbox.
My PlayStation library is expanded so that I can play with all the people who play PlayStation and don't have an Xbox. And I'm like, well, you bastard.
Get an Xbox.
Xbox.
Yeah, right. I'm buying all these PlayStation games so I can play with other people, but nobody's willing to drop an Xbox so they can play on Xbox with me.
Right, fair enough. Nobody is. Even I have an Xbox.
Somebody
and
get
never
on
played
Xbox and play Remnant with me. Remnant's awesome.
there. Is it a hard game?
Come play with me. No,
Okay, well then I might do it. Is it on Game Pass?
it's on Game Pass.
Okay, then I might do it.
Oh, that's
Like
probably
maybe.
right.
I don't know. You're like 6 hours behind me now. Change your time zone. Move to the UK. God.
Change the time zone.
Yeah, just.
I
move
I
to
moved
UK,
an
Brandon,
hour
Lexi.
back, so I'm even further away from
I
you.
know, man. So it's like normal hour
Oh.
at your house. Me, Ian, and
Yeah.
Abby are like, stay awake.
What? Is it morning?
Yeah, what's going on? Do you have a favorite game, Ian?
Yeah, as I think I mentioned earlier, the Assassin's Creed series was one that I've enjoyed. Even the current ones, I know they're dividing the fan base a lot, but I'm still enjoying them.
Dan's a fanboy. I feel like you have really found a compadre here, Dan. Like I feel like this is who you were meant
My
to
UK
meet.
brother.
Yeah. Xbox, Assassin's Creed. He's ticking all the boxes for you.
Yeah.
Somebody's gonna get mad.
Yeah. Ian. Well,
And I'm
Ian's
not saying
married, to
anyone
be
in
fair.
particular.
Mm-hmm.
Like Ian, yeah. What? Firstly, yes.
Holy hell!
Assassin's
I'm
Creed
just
games are
realizing
great.
something.
What?
Sorry, you're gonna have to edit. You might have to edit this. But I'm just realizing the fact that I just saw Adam on the same screen as you earlier. Like, oh shit, that's right.
Yes. Yeah, Adam actually exists. He was right here.
He's real.
He came through this door.
He's real.
Came through
He's
this
a real
door.
boy.
He
Went
did.
over this direction and then left.
That was the first
Pre-show.
time I think I saw you and Adam together in the same room.
We have selfies. Look, it's a paid actor. It was like $50 for the walk on. So you just had to walk through, wave, and like leave. Great job, Alan. I don't.
Watch him poking now. Like, what you on about?
PayPal good.
Where do you find these guys at?
Listen, there's like a movie extra site here in Ireland. You just pick them up off.
You go to the World Wide Web and you type in "men to be my boyfriend,"
Honestly,
and then
just
you
pick 'em
go,
up off
"Oh
the
no," and burn your computer.
Yeah, just pick them up off the street. See a
And
nice
then
looking
this guy
homeless
shows
guy,
up.
be like, "Hey man, do you want a job for a day? I'll give you some tea and maybe a cupcake." Cool.
God, things must be real easy over there in Ireland.
Yeah,
sounds
real
dangerous.
safe too. Just invite an homeless person into my house. Hello, how are you? Would you mind pretending to be my boyfriend? Shave yourself.
Why, hello.
Clean yourself
Come on
up.
in and steal my stuff.
Yeah. Ugh.
Uh,
On the nose. Ian, going back to you. What games are you looking
Yeah.
forward to this year, if any?
Animal Crossing on the Switch. First
Someone
off.
else told me. Okay, go ahead.
And Last of Us 2, obviously. And I'm hoping we're going to get a new Assassin's Creed this year because we didn't get one last year.
Ragnarok, hopefully.
Yeah, I was down for that. I
Really?
initially thought the original.
There's been a
plan
rumor
was-
for a long time.
Yeah, I heard the initial plan was to do like an ancient trilogy. They had Egypt, Greece, and then the third one would be Rome. But now all that stuff about it potentially being like Vikings.
We've already
stuff.
had Rome, though. We've already had Rome.
But not like Roman Empire Rome, like ancient
Yeah.
Rome, I guess. But yeah, I see what you.
I've had enough Italians in my Assassin's Creed, though.
Yeah.
That's too much.
All I can remember is from the first Assassin's Creed, where like they're in the Middle
That was
East.
Jerusalem.
Yeah,
I
then in the
think.
Middle East,
Syria,
and like you're
yeah.
walking through people, and it's like, no, you don't understand. And like
Oh,
I
them
don't
old
understand
women.
what.
Oh
You didn't
my
say
God.
anything.
I have no money, and they'd
Yeah.
always be super accurate when you were trying to run away from guards and climbing up a building. They
Yeah.
would always hit you with a rock, and you fell off every time.
Oddly enough, Assassin's Creed 1 was my favorite.
Their aim is impeccable.
I could not go back and play that one now. Not now.
Yeah, probably not.
The modern ones, it would broke.
Really?
The
I've
controls
only
are
ever
so
played
frustrating.
the first one.
Yeah.
I would like to play more, but I have only ever
You
played
should.
the first one.
Yeah.
Now, Animal Crossing.
Yes.
What is this game?
Tell us about Animal Crossing.
I am
Kind
not
of
a
think
Nintendo person,
like-
so I don't know.
Think like The Sims, but with animals. It's a real life
I'm on it.
kind of It's
Pagan's
kind
just
of
like, whoa.
Yes.
build up, get a house, fill it with furniture, and it's a life sim basically.
And hate Tom Nook,
Yes, that guy.
from what I
rips
understand.
you off. Yeah, that guy rips you off.
I don't know what this game. I need to figure out what this
Look
game
it
is. So I
up.
can get it.
You
Is it
would
on the
probably
Switch?
find it interesting if you like. Yeah, Switch.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'll find it.
It's not out yet. It's coming.
March. What? Yeah,
Speaking
next-
of Sims-like character things, Sim 4 is actually going to be on PS Plus next month,
Oh wow,
right?
Yes.
I've fallen out
Correct,
with this anyway.
Listen,
I don't
was
play the
out-
Sims games, so
Sims took over my life. When I was whatever age, I sat there on my dad's PC, the really slow PC, playing the first Sims. And recently I saw a video and they were like, a look back at the first Sims. And I was like, oh yeah. And I pressed on it and oh my God, the nostalgia is insane.
Nostalgia.
Abby, have
Yeah.
you ever played The Sims?
Yeah, I've got Sims 4.
See?
Yes.
Abby knows.
Yeah,
I
Sims
downloaded
4.
Sims 4, but again, this computer is so bad. It's gonna explode. Look, it's a nice computer. It really is, but it cannot handle a lot of stuff. So the fan goes absolutely mental whenever I try to do anything. Yeah, just like you could probably hear it on other podcast episodes. It's just my fucking fan going. It's my number one fan. What game would you like to see the guys play on the future episodes of Retro Replay, Ian?
I'm quite surprised that they haven't gone and tried the OG Zelda yet, like the original Legend of Zelda from the NES. Tried not to say NES. I know Roy.
I know.
Yeah, I'm surprised they haven't touched that one. I know it's probably not the best kind of game for them to play. Like, they saw they did a bit of Secret of Mana, but I guess when it's only a 40, 50-minute episode,
yeah,
that could cram in. But I'd like to see them have a go at the old Zelda, 1984, 5.
Was it 84?
No.
I felt like the game was
it might
80. I was gonna say 88, but I could be wrong.
No, you might be right. To be fair,
Abby and I are like,
what?
I would love to see the guys play the original Zelda. I think it'd be a good time.
1990?
What? Hashtag 90s kid.
I still think 20 years ago is 1990. How shit is that?
Nope.
Like, I still think that.
It's officially not.
It's officially almost freaking 30
year
years.
2000.
Actually, it is 30 years.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Anyway.
You're like, oh, God. I'm a mummy.
Old now. All right. Well, look, let's get through it into the discussion about the shows this week. Did everybody watch the shows this week? Did y'all do your homework?
Yes.
Ian's like,
There's always one.
No,
There's
if
always one.
I'm not really following the Uncharted anyway because I'm going to be playing it myself. So
it's all right. Uncharted is finished, so it's all good.
They did finish Uncharted, so we don't have to talk about Uncharted.
Yeah, don't talk about Uncharted. But yeah, so we didn't have an Uncharted playthrough this week because they finished last week with their amazing episode of Amy Hennig. But instead, we got to see the brand new episode of Level 3. Yay!
They're back.
Yes, they're back. So before we
They're
dive into that, we're going to put a pin in that, and we're going to talk about The Last of Us Definitive Playthrough. Woo! No guest this week, but we did have a very special character enter the world of Ellie and Joel in the form of David. Bum, bum, bum. Winter has arrived. So exciting. I know this game, like, this particular section of the game has been so highly anticipated, and everyone's like, I really hope Nolan plays. And he did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
Troy gave him the stick straight away, didn't he? When that.
Yeah. You were there, right, Dan?
The little portal toss.
Portal toss, that's it, yeah.
I didn't realize that people were asking for Nolan to play the Ellie part.
Yeah, like
I mean, it
from
makes
the very
sense.
beginning.
Yeah. I assumed, like, once they got to David, he would probably play.
Yeah. From the very beginning, they were like, I really hope Nolan plays Winter. So it's been highly anticipated, which I think is what forced their hand to be like, all right, Troy, check over the controller there. Retro Replay is going to turn into like those definitive playthroughs are like, Nolan plays through this game. Poor Troy.
We can't get Troy to play through his own damn game.
Yeah, right? That's because Nolan hasn't seen it, and it's like, oh, it's so good when Nolan reacts. Anyway. So good. I'm such a nerd. Anyway, Abby, how did you find the episode this week? Have you been waiting for this, like, David part for a while? Like, is this something that you were looking forward to?
Playing the game myself.
You only played the game a couple of weeks ago, or was that your first playthrough?
Yeah.
How'd you find it?
Wow.
I found it.
It's a good game.
Cried at the end and then.
No way! Oh, well done. Great way to end it as well. Be like, gotta go order the second one.
Give me more.
Please, just give me more.
Basket.
Let me put it down in my basket.
Did you know going into the game that Nolan did the voice of David?
I got some Nolan.
But you weren't pre-aware that he was like gonna be in the game. Oh, good. I didn't know he was
never
in the game either.
knew Nolan was David until like last year.
Yeah. I mean I knew it after after I've played it and everything, but during the gameplay, someone was like, "Hey, Nolan North's in the game," and actually my brother just completed the game, and he saw the credits, and the credits rolled or whatever, and it said David is Nolan North, and Christian was just like, what the fuck? Was that really Nolan North? I was like, yep. Go back and check. So good. What about you, Ian? Were you looking forward to that part in particular?
Yeah, because the playthrough is still pretty fresh in my mind as well from doing it myself. So that quite intense. I think that whole segment, amazing. And I was the same. Until the credits rolled, I didn't realize that was Nolan. I was like, oh my god. So was that where they met initially? Was that before Uncharted? I'm still hazy on my.
Yes.
That would have been their first.
It was before Uncharted 4, for
Uncharted
sure.
4, yeah.
Yeah. So.
I don't know where they met though. Ooh, that's an interesting question. I have no idea where they
met. I just assumed.
Trivia
I thought,
question.
maybe this was before Uncharted.
Because I'm sure it's very possible that they would have worked together on something. Maybe not directly.
Definitely.
But they could have been in the same game, I'm sure, before.
Well, they definitely were in
Since they're in
Shadow of
everything.
Mordor, but I don't know when that came out. Was that after Last of Us?
Oh, Shadow of Mordor came out in 2015, so after The Last of Us.
After Last of Us, okay.
Yeah.
Oh. Well, it's very
Yes.
exciting. I thought it was a great episode.
Good episode.
Mm-hmm.
Nolan's reaction.
Nolan, during that firefight at the end, was just... no.
I have never screamed so much at the
Manja.
computer. Like, honestly, I was screaming.
Brandy and I were both yelling a lot. Like, Nolan, turn around!
Yeah.
Turn
Or
around!
like,
Okay.
it's that bit where he got, like, I think it's, like, when he was in the, you know, they get cornered in a little hut. And they had to go upstairs then. And, like, then he's like, hey, cover the stairs. Just before that, and he gets the med kit out of the locker, and he, like, couldn't get up the stairs quick enough. He got stuck in the doorway. Oh, my God. I was shouting so bad. I felt so stressed. Like, Nolan, get up the stairs. Oh, my God. And then the clicker gets him, and I'm like, Nolan.
I have two moments I need to mention. I think, well, it was personally really funny. I think it's pretty funny. There was a point when Troy was playing in the beginning of the episode where he kept running around just trying to murder dudes with the axe.
Yeah.
And I was straight up like, Troy, just shoot them, for crying out loud. And then a second later, Nolan says, why don't you just shoot them?
Yeah.
And I'm like, thank you, Nolan.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Nolan is
then-
the voice of reason.
To top it off, there was another part later in the episode when Nolan was playing where Brandy said something and then Troy said the same thing right after. And I think it had to do with like looking behind him, and now I'm mad that I can't remember what it was. But like literally the same thing happened where she said something and then Troy said basically the same thing right after.
This has happened to me and Adam quite a bit as well. Like, I'll be watching it and I will have said kind of nothing because I will be watching on my second time because he's not here when it goes live. So I don't say anything, and then he'll make a comment or whatever right before either Troy or Nolan said the same thing, and I'm like, damn, homie.
On point.
Yeah, on point. But we are both so stressed watching it. Like, so stressed. Also, I think it was pretty funny in the live chat. I can't remember who said it, and I should probably start taking note in the live chat, but when Troy was playing at the beginning of the episode, and like he said, he was going after everybody with like melee weapons and stuff, and someone was like, Troy wants thing to upgrade every gun that he has. Also, Troy, melee weapons only. Like,
Yeah.
Because we were all like, why don't you just shoot people? Like, shoot them. You are on easy. You will find ammo. It is okay. I feel like
He was every time he went over ammo, it was full, but yet he keeps saving ammo and
this
not
is the
shooting
thing.
people.
I think he's like preserving ammo for some reason. Like, I think he's just scared that he's gonna run out or he's gonna face a ultimate boss or something.
A secret hoarder.
Yeah, and trying to sneak back, like in the hotel. I think it's the hotel where, you know, like he's trying to get past this like area of clickers and the bloater.
Oh yeah.
Like, I just.
Oh, you're talking about in the college when he dropped down?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
They were going through the dorm rooms.
Yeah.
Yeah, I said the same thing. I was like, I snuck through this whole portion. I didn't kill or
You
fight
didn't kill
any
anybody.
of them.
Yeah, I was like, well, okay, I'll just get through this. And then, like, when you go, he was like, oh, you see, because either way, you're gonna make noise, like as you exit that scene. And I was like, yeah, you do, but as soon as you get through the other side, the thing comes back and blocks you, and it looks like they're trying to get in, but they can't. So that was a really interesting segment. He was just like, yeah, look, a bloater, let's Molotov him. I was like, okay. You do you.
I mean, to give him some credit, I didn't know that you would get a Firefly pendant off of one of those clickers that he
We
killed.
said the same thing. When you
I was
went
like,
over, I was like, oh,
oh.
that's what that does. Like,
That's what that's for.
yeah. Oh, maybe I should have done that before. I'm too scared though. I'm too scared to aggravate a bloater. I'm just gonna die. I'll
I
panic
know,
and die.
like now when I pick up my second playthrough of The Last of Us game, when I'm doing New Game Plus, it's like, okay, just kill everything, which I have been. I've just been murdering everything.
Everything dies. Just kill everything.
Everything.
down.
Hashtag previous episode, murder everything.
Hashtag murder everything. Yeah, I mean, I think like this whole moment I think the whole episode was nicely coordinated. That Troy started it until he fell on the pike thing.
Yeah. Ow.
That moment though, like, how did you feel playing that for the first time, Abby? Like, you've only recently played that, and that moment, like that vulnerability of a character that you're controlling, all that like mechanics of that, where you're almost passing out, like you can't shoot properly, you can't aim properly, you can't do things. How did you find it?
Well, it's stressful.
Sure.
Say the least.
As I was playing through it, I was like, Joel can't die. And then that moment happened. I was like, that's it. Maybe. Ellie, from that moment onwards, ready for the second one.
I did the same thing after that, and it opens on winter and everything, and I was like, no, I'm out.
That's where you decided that
gonna...
you weren't pre-ordering that next game, but then you continued playing and was like, I'm okay.
All right, fine.
Yeah.
Ian, what about you? You also played it recently. Like, how has anybody else found this character mechanic thing before, where like you have a very wounded person? I hadn't played a game where your character is definitely going to die. Like, it looks like your character is definitely going to die.
Yes,
Yeah.
there is a game that I can think of that does that.
Go ahead, Dan.
Metal Gear Solid 4.
I haven't played any Metal Gears. Sure. You got me on that.
I'm sure there's other ones too. I'm sure I've played other games where you're like, oh man, I'm gonna die, like, and there's nothing I can do about it.
I love it. I just think it's like, it takes it all out of your hands, and like you feel like you can do it, like you can save it. Like, even Nolan was like, oh my god, medkit it. And you're like, yeah, it doesn't work like that, bro. It doesn't work like that.
Mm-hmm.
I just got a notification that's going to come up on my recording. Cool. Yeah. Sorry, Ian, what did you think about like that kind of mechanic?
Yeah, I enjoyed it myself when I was playing the game, but it does get you worrying. Like you say, it's like, is this going to be it for Joel? Like, is it going to be the end? And even though I had seen the Last of Us 2 trailer before I actually started playing the game. In fact, that was one of the things that spurred me on to play it, in a way.
Cool.
So I was like, well, I know he's alive, but it's one of them things where even though you know, you panic anyway, because it's like, it might happen. Maybe it's just a big misdirect and he's going to die and it's going to be Ellie for him. But yeah, and seeing Troy's emotion in that scene as well while he was playing, he looked heartbroken.
Troy was hurting.
Heartbroken while he was doing that.
I feel like he was going to cry or something. I was like,
yeah,
oh my God, are you okay?
Yeah.
He was full on like...
I think he was really trying not to. He was holding it back, definitely.
You know what gets me though is like, I think emotionally that whole bit is like, okay, it's pretty sad and it's tragic that this happened, and I was so in shock that this is still happening and it's continuing to happen, and I didn't just get up and walk out of it. But it's literally the desperation in Ashley's voice as Ellie, where she's like, how we doing? You know, like, how we doing? You're gonna get through this, come on. Like, and I love the line where she's like, can you walk? And he's like, yeah. And then she said, then fucking walk.
Yeah.
Love it. I think it's perfect because it's tough love. Yeah, it's really good, and I think that is probably what's maybe driving his emotion. I don't know. I can't speak for Troy Baker, but I think like that's clearly something that would drive me more, is like her desperation, be like, please don't die. Like, she's panicking and so scared. And it's his moments where he's like, you know, behind you and trying to save her, and
yeah,
it's just so good. Sure. All right, we farted on a bit too much about that. Let's go.
I thought of another game where you play as a dying character that makes you like, oh, I don't know if I'm gonna survive or not.
Go for it.
Ori and the Blind Forest.
Oh, go
Oh
away.
God.
I'm
Yeah.
not talking to you about that game. I still haven't picked it back up.
okay.
You ruined it.
Yeah, but in the first like 10 minutes of the game,
Yeah.
you're like, am I gonna die?
Oh my god.
Yeah.
That was a really short game.
Right in the
Oh, okay, it's over.
Yeah. I feel like I've been playing a game recently as well, and I'm like, my character looks like they're definitely gonna die, and I can't think of what it was. There you go.
Isn't that Hellblade?
Probably, actually. Probably, because there's quite a few
There are
moments
times in the
in
combat
Hellblade.
where you're like, you think you're dead, but you can still get up.
Yeah. But I think, like, there is a moment in Hellblade where you can't help it. Like, she does seem to, like...
Right.
It's almost as if you're controlling it, and then you realize you're not. And she really is,
There
like,
is a
gonna pass out. Or
there's a
she's talking to
scripted
somebody or
death
something.
in the beginning of the game
Yes.
where she watches herself die.
Yeah. And you're like, oh my god. It's such a good game. I can't wait to play more of that, to be honest. It's so good.
Mm-hmm.
Moving on to the second bit of content that we got this week is Phil Kensington and his sale store, where everything is on sale, including
Even
the store.
the store.
I love it. Please buy
And
my
now,
store.
welcome to the remaining episode of the podcast where we do just Phil Kensington for the rest of the show.
That's it. No, we're not even going to talk about level 3. It's just gonna be
We
Phil
were already
Kensington.
doing Phil Kensington bits too.
No, Phil Kensington's my life, bro, man. I just want, like, I want all the merchandise. I want to
All
go
the
to
Phil
his
Kensington.
store, and I want to buy his store.
Yeah.
And then you can be like, welcome to Pagan's sales store.
Everything.
Previously owned by the one and only Phil Kensington.
And it's
This is my
Conveniently
partner,
located
Adam.
next to Marty Kensington's Saab dealership.
Saab dealership. Saab.
They're really
What
good.
you do when you buy?
Nah, I think, look, I mean, I really enjoyed the little clip from Cyanide and Happiness. I wanted
loving
more,
that.
though. I wanted more. Phil Kensington is referenced a lot through the other episodes, and I think they just clipped it from one. But I'm like, I want more.
Yeah.
I just think he's one of my favorite characters.
Well, they gotta
except-
spread it out.
Yeah.
That's true. That's true. Phil Kensington's one of my favorite characters. Everybody else?
Obviously,
Yeah.
for you, Pagan.
Well,
One else.
sure.
One else,
What about
definitely.
you, Dan, Ian, Abby? Who do you think? Like, do you have a favorite character so far, or do you have a favorite episode of Cyanide and Happiness so far?
I like the Spider-Man one.
Spider-Man one's really good. Nice, like, original, kicking it off.
Yeah.
Was there
The very
Frank and Edith?
first-
Frank and Edith?
Frank and Edith. Yeah.
Mm.
Pagan either.
Did you tell him?
Mm-hmm.
No.
I told him
I told him.
Yeah, yeah. It's a good one. Do you guys have, like, favorite characters, though? Like, so, I mean, yours is obviously Frank and Edith from Spider-Man. Dan, Ian, do you guys have a favorite character that they've done?
If not Phil, I'd say Sale. Probably
Sal and
Uncle
Vin?
Sale.
I was gonna say I'm really hoping they do an Uncle Sal and Uncle Vin Cyanide and Happy.
Oh, it's coming for sure.
For sure. They do
I've already
that-
seen images of it from one of the live shows.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they do
Did
a
they
clip.
have it already there?
No, it wasn't a Cyanide and Happiness one. They did an actual clip, a live film.
Oh,
clip
right. And they
of
had
Troy with Pete Caps.
Nolan's son.
Yeah, Cooper.
Cooper was
I
there.
actually didn't see that clip. I saw a different clip.
That one.
So I saw like just a Sal and Vin on the bench, on the park bench. But obviously they did
'Cause
another
it was
one with
like
Cooper in Glasgow.
Nolan playing Uncle Sale talking to Cooper and saying like, your mother is a beautiful woman. And he's like looking like really awkward. Like, okay, this is
Awkward.
uncomfortable as hell.
Of course he would. And can I just say, has anybody seen Jill North?
No.
Damn.
I might have.
She is so beautiful. Oh my goodness.
She's a beautiful one.
Like,
Mhm.
damn, Nolan. Like, Cooper,
Your
mom
mother,
really is a
she's
beautiful
a beautiful woman.
woman.
Nolan, your wife's the
Uh,
beautiful.
Yeah, she's really cool. I really enjoy these characters. I really enjoy like Phil Kensington, Anus, and everything. I will segue.
I have-
this. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh,
No,
go ahead. No. I think I'm following your lead. I think I know where you're. Go.
I will segue this because I really hope they do the electrician from set.
Yes,
level
I was
3.
to say Phil the electrician.
Phil the electrician, where he's like,
Yeah.
"Hey, you want to put on a screwdriver and come on the show? What are we paying you? Cupcakes? Well, we'll pay you double cupcakes. Like,
Double
please,
frosting.
yes.
Cupcake.
Oh God, yes.
I like
please.
cupcakes.
Clip that.
You mean all I
like
gotta
that
do is
episode.
talk?
Oh.
Yeah.
I like how everyone's named Phil apparently in this world.
Everyone's
It's just a short and easy name. It might be related to the Kensingtons. Who knows?
a long lost cousin. He sounded like
Third.
it could be a Kensington.
Yeah. What were some of your favorite moments from level 3? Obviously, level 3 has been much anticipated. We haven't had it since December. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah.
We should probably do our research. The Replayer freaking podcast. Meh. It has been a long.
It's been a lifetime. I don't know what you're talking about. I just don't know anything.
4 years.
It's been so long.
Later. Long-awaited episode. The live chat was crazy. 1,000 and something people were watching and chatting live. Saw all your lovely faces there.
Yes.
Yeah. What was your favorite moment of Retro Replay? Like having it back on a Thursday. Abby, what did you think? She's like, I don't know. It was alright, I guess.
To be fair, I liked it because it was like.
I like it.
Kind of launch show.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. I mean, like, I think that's really an interesting thing to say because I think, like, you guys have been a member for a month now, but you guys haven't had a Retro Replay episode that you've watched live. What an experience! Oh, that's exciting.
Yeah.
That's exciting. So what did you think, Abby? Like, how did you get on with everybody in the live chat? Were you enjoying it? I mean, obviously, it's very similar to how the definitive playthroughs go on. But I feel like the definitive playthroughs, like Uncharted and The Last of Us, they have a lot more viewers, sometimes over 2,000. Some people chatting in the live chats that are going crazy and going like a million miles an hour. Not that this wasn't, but a lot of it is members and familiar faces. And a lot of people in the UK, they would be like, a small few that actually stay up for that because it's like 12 o'clock in the morning. How did you enjoy it? Like, I mean, do you have a favorite moment from the show that you saw on Thursday? Other than Phil the electrician, obviously he's the best.
I think go off on.
All about
the
the
tangent thread. Oh my god, missed the tangent thread for sure. So I feel like they don't really do that in the playthroughs, whereas they went to town on this episode. What did you think, Ian?
Yeah, it was just nice to, like, even Nolan said himself in the episode, nothing has changed. But apart from the set, which looks amazing.
Yeah. Oh, and you know what? Speaking of the set, we have Ashcan and we had Greg on. Greg and Sarah, actually, technically, the photo of the two of them on as Altered Beast members. So they were on the back of Nolan and Troy. That was so cool. Really like that. Other members got shout outs. I don't know. Was it all members that were like Drew Stoop and everything? Including you, Ian. Ian, have a happy holiday.
I know, I loved it. I didn't even care that he made a pun out of my surname, even if it's one I've heard a million times. I was like, oh, you said it.
No,
and it was the same at
the.
Yeah, it was the same at the charity stream as well. When that happened at the charity stream, I was like, wait, what? I got called out there and won a prize.
Yeah, I'm so excited for you. That was a great stream as well, and I think like
that was amazing.
Giving shout outs and stuff, and it's nice to see people that are in chats consistently. Do you know what I mean? Like, I mean, you were saying like you were in the charity stream. It was a 6-hour stream. Like, I know myself and Greg were there for the full 6 hours. A lot of other people there were full 6 hours. Yeah, I was in this.
Don't know how you did it
all day.
I popped in for 10 minutes tops, and I was in an area with bad Wi-Fi, so like it was just like,
Oh, really? No, I stayed for the full 6 hours, and I know definitely Greg did. A lot of other people did. Grace did, I think, as well. Like, so many did. It was so nice to see everybody, and you see like familiar faces in the chat. And I feel like Abby and Ian, like that's probably what you're going to see now on every Retro Replay episode of the live chat every Thursday, because it's not as populated or as heavily populated as the Uncharted and The Last of Us ones. Usually. This one was an exception. Level 3, we had a lot more members since the live stream. It was nice though. So you'll see like a lot of familiar faces, and then we're all on like Twitter and Discord and everything. So we get into your lives.
And we
Yeah, we never leave.
And the Replayer family is growing, and the podcast is part of that, and that's how we all get to be all besties.
It's so nice. And this is kind of like, this is why we have you guys on, is so that we can get to know who you guys are. People who listen to this, they can understand who you are. So the next time they're on the live chat with you, they'll know a bit about you. They know your preferred platform, or if you're a gamer, if you have a favorite game, they'll know. And they can just have a conversation with you, and it just breaks that ice then and kind of gets you guys into the community.
Yeah.
That's something that I think now is going to be kind of exciting and cool now that we have converted the podcast to video, that we're actually filming us and being on here. And now people are going to be able to look at someone in the live chat and be like, oh, I saw that person on the Replayer podcast. I know what they look like. I know who they are. I have a good sense of them as a person. That's awesome. I know that, on the podcast they talked about, I like Xbox, or, Spider-Man's my favorite game, or I started watching Retro Replay because of Jacksepticeye guy. I'm going to message that person. I'm going to talk to them.
Yeah.
And it does. It opens doors and it opens ways of communication for other people as well, because you have things in common. And I think sometimes, like, a lot of people have come on and they're like, I was actually live in the members chat, but I didn't type anything. I just watched, because everybody knows everybody else. And people come on and like, how does everybody know everybody? And this is how. Like, we all just get to know each other. Replayer Podcast is an element of that. And then there's the live chat and Discord and Twitters and all sorts of social media, and it's just knowing faces, knowing people, and it's so wholesome.
It's very welcoming, I'll say that, because I think one of the first live chats I was in was, I can't remember which one it was, but I think it's Greg, just shouting out everyone's name, like they've been there for years, and I'd been there I've been watching Retro Replay for a while, but I've only just now started kind of actively participating. But it was like, oh yeah, you've been here for years. Like the way they talk to you
Yeah.
I used to do that too a lot. Was like when I was really active in the live chats. Anytime I saw somebody new or somebody saying, "Hey, it's my first time here," I'd always be like, "Oh, welcome, hi, nice to have
fresh
you."
meat. I saw someone type fresh meat. Yeah.
I think that's a common thread though. Like a lot of people do that now. People are saying, "Oh, I finally got to join it live," or "I'm just started a member." Or even when people join as members and they're like, so and so became a new member, like Abby Dawn became a new member.
Welcome to the party.
Everyone's like, welcome to the party. Like, hello, how are you? What's going on? Happy birthday, whatever. Like, it's so nice to see inclusion on a large scale in an online community. Ugh, gotten so wholesome. All right.
Wholesome content.
Wholesome content. Here's a part of the Retro Replay Level 3 that I didn't like. I know. Shocker.
Sacrilege.
Troy and Nolan went on a tangent about The Mandalorian. The Mandalorian is available on Disney Plus. Disney Plus is not available in the UK until February.
It's not. Nope. It's not available over there yet?
It is not. Which is why none of us have seen it. And I had to mute the conversation. I had to ask Grace to let me know once it's been finished, because I was like, this is a whole chunk. It was a whole chunk.
They talked a lot about the Mando.
And I think from the first reference, I was like, are they speaking about the Mandalorian? I'm not sure. And then they started going into it, and I was like, oh no, I can't hear this. Like, I'm not a massive Star Wars fan, but I know that I will be watching it. I know that Adam will be watching it, and he was watching the show with me. So I had to put it on mute. Did you guys do the same? Were you bothered by it? Did you listen to it?
I listened, and I mean, I don't think they went over anything major.
Nothing spoilery.
That's not weird. But that's going to really spoil it for you. But it's still it's the same, because for us, as you say, Disney hates us for some reason and doesn't want to give us Disney Plus until next. Is it next month or is it this month now?
I feel like it's next month. I think
March,
it's February.
Isn't it? Well, it's February now for us.
Oh my god. Well, I suppose so. 12:30 in the morning. I suppose it is. Happy 1st of February, everybody. Woo.
I'm still in January.
Oh, yeah, you're in the past. Listen, so far February's been great. Can't tell you much. Haven't got much to report. For the first 46 minutes of February have gone really well. I think it's this. Yeah, sorry. Then I think it is later this month or early next month.
I still have.
Yeah.
But
4
the
hours
point
and 15
is,
minutes.
it's not out yet.
Yeah, I mean, everyone's had Baby Yoda spoiled for them anyway, because there's just no getting away with it.
No escaping
Getting away
those
from
memes.
it. Yeah. So, but yeah, no,
Well-
they didn't really destroy anything about it. I don't think.
Yeah, I feel like a
I
lot
do
of
have to
people had-
apologize.
Yeah, go ahead.
I have to apologize to Pagan and everyone in the overseas, in the UK and everything for that matter, because I didn't realize you guys didn't have Disney Plus yet.
Yeah.
And I was straight up like, what is wrong with you, Pagan? How have you not watched The Mandalorian yet? I didn't know you
I didn't even
didn't
see
have
that.
it.
I didn't even see that because we were like a lot of people were typing it in the chat and they were like, guys, Disney Plus isn't out in the UK yet.
Spoilers.
And so I just had to mute it.
Yeah.
And then Grace at the end was like, typed in capitals, and she's like, if you are in UK or have not seen Mandalorian, mute the screen and I will let you know. And then she did. Abby, are you a big Star Wars fan? Like, were you bothered at all?
Wasn't bothered, but I muted it anyway. Probably that.
Yeah. See, this is the thing. Like, I know that they're not spoiling anything major. They're not like, okay,
No.
so this main character dies. What do we all think? Like, they didn't say like spoilery stuff. But at the same time, like, if it's something that has been anticipated or highly anticipated for a while, you want to know everything about it. So it was just something that I had to mute, which is
Right.
a bit like,
That's
wah, wah.
Yeah, anything I'm looking forward to, I don't want people to tell me anything about it.
Exactly.
I want to consume it all on my own,
Yeah.
Yeah.
in my own time. And I almost want to say maybe I didn't realize you guys didn't have Disney Plus.
Yeah, it's weird.
Maybe they don't either.
I don't
No,
think they do.
probably
No,
not.
and
It's-
like I don't think they did. And I think
No.
it was only when people were like, guys, and then we just had to
Like,
mute ourselves. I think community took over. Community looked after us, and like Grace would let me know when it was like not okay.
It was a
When it
weird
was okay
business.
to watch it again.
Oh.
Other than that, though, I missed the tangents. I didn't see much of the gameplay.
Is it funny for me to say that my favorite part about that episode was the fact that they were playing Space Ace? And not that I have any kind of passion for Space Ace, but because it's a Don Bluth button
Yeah, it seems
quick
like
time event game like Dragon Slayer. So
Slayer,
it was
yeah.
a throwback to the first episode of season 2 or level 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And my joy almost exploded, for there was a brief moment where Nolan started to do the song and dance of, I'm gonna go up, I'm gonna go left, and then I'm gonna shoot the gun.
Yeah.
And he started to do it, and then he stopped, and I was like, no.
Nah.
That was one of my favorite parts of the
Because he did
Dragon
really
Slayer.
well when
Him
he did
just
that as
going
well.
into a trance, like, I gotta go up, I gotta go down, and then I'm gonna jump, and then I'm gonna sword. Like, that was one of my favorite parts of that episode.
I've not played any one of those games, so that like the whole mechanic.
Don't play them; they're terrible. It's just
Yeah.
hilarious to watch.
It just seemed like I didn't understand that he was controlling it. I know it sounds really strange, but like it because it's animation, it almost just looks like I'm watching a cartoon play over. That's just failing all the time. The death count went to like over 30. Shout out to Pyro for actually keeping death count.
Keeping the dead going.
Because I don't think we ever kept death count in the retro replay episodes. We only kept them in the definitive playthrough episodes. But yeah, apparently they're now doing it in retro replay, and it reached over 30.
It depends on what they're playing, and then if they
Yeah.
use cheat codes or not.
That's true. Oh, cheat codes. They haven't used one yet.
Cheat codes. We have not seen cheat codes yet.
We have not.
They did throw mittens at us, which it was like,
Yes.
Ugh. Mittens.
That
Every
darn
time
cat.
Drew does it, like it's like too loud for the headphones. If you're
like,
watching
can you
it,
turn mittens down just a little?
just a smidge.
Mittens broke the live stream tonight.
Yeah.
It
Man,
went all
people were like, "Oh, my
laggy
ears
and
was not
glitchy.
expecting."
Yeah. No.
Oh well, they do try. It was funny. It's just
Oh yeah.
excruciating. He did try. All right, folks. We've nattered on. Does anybody
Nattered.
want to add anything for level 3 or your hopes for future episodes for this level? Like, what would you like to see more of? I know they were discussing today in like the live chat that they're looking to do more live shows, which would be amazing. Like actually tour for live shows. But is there anything that you would like to see for level 3 upcoming that's not just gameplay? That's like, would you like to see more of this? Because I know we got announcements this week as well for Troy's going to do story time and Nolan is going to do Uncle Noli Knows. So is there something else that you'd like to see? Are you excited for those segments? What do you think?
I want more time Nolan crushing it like he did at the end of that episode. That last few minutes with Nolan was just gold.
Sure. Nolan is amazing.
Anyways,
so-
you guys.
Yeah, what did you think? Abby, Ian, what do you think like about the new segments that are coming up? Any
That is a
interest?
segment.
Yeah? are you more interested in something like Storytime with Troy or interested in something with Nolan? I presume Nolan's Uncle Noli advice is going to be somewhat tongue-in-cheek.
Yeah.
Like,
Most
as it
likely.
has been. And in the live shows, it usually is. It's like Nolan being, cheeky chappy. But I don't know, like, I don't know how it's going to work. I think it'll work really well, but I'd be interested to see it.
I think anyone who writes in or tries to do the questions to Nolan should not expect a legit
Real
answer.
Yeah.
Yeah, agree.
Yeah, because but there was one of the live shows where he did that, didn't he? And somebody asked him like a really serious question, and he gave him a straight over the like in your face joke answer.
I think it was
like somebody was saying something about like, how do you find love? And he was like, be better or something, like,
Yeah. Because I think he was taken aback first, and then was like, okay, I got this, and then turned it around. But yeah, like, I feel like it's going to definitely be a tongue-in-cheek thing. Are you looking more forward to, like, both of them or more segments? Or would you like to hear more stories from Troy or Nolan? Abby? I feel like you can see me looking at you, but you can't. I'm looking at you on the screen. Sorry. You there.
What he's got to say.
Mm-hmm. I think Nolan's might be a bit more. This gonna sound weird, but like I feel like Nolan's would be funnier and entertaining, whereas I think Troy's would be in depth, inspirational, insightful, really interesting. So I feel like there's two different like combating sides for this. But at the same time, I do think Nolan, if he does get a serious question that he feels needs to be addressed, I think he will address it seriously. Yeah. What do you think, Ian? Like, are you interested in those new segments?
Yeah, I think I posted a question to both of them on it when they announced it. I posted one to Uncle Noli. I can't remember what I asked. I can remember what I asked Troy purely because I made the worst typo ever and didn't notice until like a day ago when my wife pointed it out to me. I think I asked him what it was like. What was it like to work with Norman Reedus and Hideo Kojima? But my fat fingers / autocorrect on my mobile decided to type video Kojima.
Well, look, same thing, right? He'll know.
He'll get it.
He'll get it.
There is video Kojima in Metal Gear Solid 1.
Well, there you go.
Well, there you go.
Surprised that's not what you got when you Google it.
Probably. But yeah, no, I think these segments could do. I agree. I think Nolan's will probably be more on the cheeky, funny side, whereas Troy's will be more insightful, maybe letting us into his life a bit like he does. Like you mentioned the interview with Jacksepticeye, which I loved.
Yeah.
That was amazing. That little sit down interview for an hour and just hearing him, the things he spoke about and that. So yeah, I think that'll be kind of more of that with Troy.
Yeah. I think so too, and I also enjoyed that. If anybody wants to check that out, I think that's on Jacksepticeye's YouTube channel.
Yes.
Just Jacksepticeye interviews Troy Baker, or sits down with Troy Baker and Matt Mercer, and you'll see it.
Go to
Not
the
together,
World
but
Wide Webs and
different.
type in Jacksepticeye.
So yeah, I think that's pretty great. And obviously next week we have looking forward to is obviously Level 3 Episode 2. We've got another Cyanide and Happiness video coming out on Wednesday. Not quite sure what that's going to be yet. I'm sure some diehard fan is like, I know exactly what character that's going to be, because like they'll follow the episodes. Unfortunately, I don't know. But
so we're definitely getting Ashley next week, right?
I'm thinking so. I think it has to be Ashley. Like Troy was all like, "You've been waiting for this."
Yeah.
Like
there's
Drew's
really
been
no one
dropping big
else.
hints. Yeah.
Oh,
It's got to be Ashley, and it's like
Unless
really good
it's
scene.
Neil Druckmann, but I almost feel like that would be a disappointment because they should save Neil for the end, like they do with Amy, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Agreed. It has to be Ashley. Are you guys excited to see Ashley come on? Do you guys know Ashley from anything else other than this, or?
No. No.
Ashley, critical role with.
Yes, that's right.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah, I
Yes.
didn't know that.
Look, I've said this before. I would love to get into Critical Role, but I feel like their episodes are so long. And
They're
I would
so
really need,
long.
Yeah, I would really need to commit some time to that. There would be some. I would need to. Be
I just had a
off
very
for 6 months.
interesting thought.
Go ahead.
Thinking about Ashley coming on the show. Well, if we rewind back to the first rip episode of
Sure.
The Last of Us playthrough, we had, remind me her name, the girl that played Sarah.
Oh, Hannah Hayes.
Yeah.
Yes, she came on. They played through the beginning of the game. So Nolan was playing, and then Troy and Hannah had their moment of, oh, we remember how tough this was going through this experience of us acting together in these scenes.
Mm-hmm.
Are we gonna get something similar between Ashley and Nolan playing the scenes together that were really awkward and terrifying?
I hope so. I really do hope so.
Like Ashley's like, I am scarred because of you.
That whole segment was so good in the game.
Yeah.
No, like David is such a strange character because he never really lies. He just comes off really sweet and trusting.
Yeah.
I know everybody playing the game was like, nah, I don't trust you, buddy. Like, you can give me your rifle all you want. I don't trust you.
You're too nice.
Yeah. But then, like, I mean, when I was playing it the first time, I was like, maybe they're trying to make me not trust him. And turns out he's lovely. No, turns out he's not that nice.
Mm-hmm.
So that's exciting. We're looking forward to that on Tuesday next week. Nothing on Monday. But Cyanide and Happiness on Wednesday. And then Retro Review episode on Thursday. Exciting. Yeah.
It's back.
Yes.
We're gonna wrap it up here, folks. Is there something that you would like to promote, or if you would like to promote your socials?
Plug it.
Now is the time to plug it. Abby, would you like to have anybody follow you on socials? Is there anything that you're interested in or doing, or interested in a product that you're doing?
Anything you want to share?
What would you like to share with the class today?
I mean, you can follow me on Twitter if you want.
Perfect.
Next week's probably going to be a lot of concert content. Concert next Thursday.
Fantastic. What are you going to see?
Cool.
The Jonas Brothers.
Cool. That's great. Have you seen them before?
No, I've waited 11 years.
Oh my god.
Oh, wow.
Wait, is that them behind you? No, it's not them behind you, is it?
No.
What's this? What's behind you?
They're called Why Don't We? I went to go see them a couple of years ago.
Why Don't We? Are they a UK band?
No, they're American.
Oh, well, I gotta look at them.
Never heard of them.
The Jonas Brothers is exciting though. Like, I have never seen the Jonas Brothers live. I really like them. I like their content. I actually only really started liking them like maybe this year or last year, but because they had some funky.
I like the
tunes that were on
one
the
Jonas that was in Jumanji.
Jumanji.
Yeah, Nick Jonas.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's the best. That's so cool, Abby. I'm really excited for you. Are you hyped? Are you gonna go with friends or family?
We'll go with my sister.
Older, younger?
Older.
Older. She also likes the Jonas Brothers, and she's like, okay, I'll bring you.
It was a gift from my mum and dad. Like, it was like, we'll get them for your birthday.
Oh, that's so nice. When was your birthday? When was your birthday? Just now? Just recently?
No, it was in June, so they booked them last year.
My god, you've been waiting this for a long time then.
All this time.
My God.
Oh, it's exciting. Well, look, I will pop your Twitter details in the description below. It's Abby, at Abby Dawn, or at Abby _ Dawn?
It's Abby Dawn without the underscore.
Perfect. I'll pop it in. Ian, what about you? Do you have anything that you would like to plug? Socials, streaming, whatever you'd like?
Yeah. You can follow me on Twitter as well. I'm at Ian Plays Games. WEN. And if you do happen to have a Mixer account, if you do happen to have a Mixer account, I'm over there, the same at mixer.com/IanPlaysGames. And this month, I am doing a 24-hour live stream for Game Blast 20, which is it's a charity event held by Special Effect, and they make bespoke controllers and things to allow people with various disabilities and stuff to be able to play games. So
that's
people
amazing.
that don't have the use of their hands or anything, they can make special
cool.
retina controlled
so they make like adaptive controllers for people with certain disabilities, right?
I've done it for
that's awesome.
This will be the third year I think I've streamed for Game Blast, but it'll be the first time I've streamed for them on Mixer. So
what are the rules about that though? You're going to stream for 24 hours?
Yeah, I was going to ask the same question. How's that work? Like you yourself are going to stream for 24 hours?
Do you need to sleep? Are you going to sleep? Are you going to stay sleep
this will be my 5th or 6th 24-hour stream now, I think.
What? You monster. How are you doing that?
Do you have pre-recorded content?
Magic and elves mostly. No, there is a bit of preparation in it. I get plenty of sleep the night before, obviously, and you do take regular little breaks, of course, because you can't. It's not healthy to sit in front of a screen for 28 hours. Obviously, you have to take yourself away and eat from time to time. But
use the loo, as you might say.
Yeah.
Use the loo.
Or do you just sit on a crapper the whole time? You're just like you're just playing your games like I'm pooping right now.
Hey man, if you don't adult diaper a 24-hour live stream, are you even live streaming?
Darling, bring me the bucket. I gotta go again. So I'm looking forward to it. It's the early hours of the morning get interesting because that's usually when the struggle occurs for me. If my stream gets a little bit quieter and with the people that are there because they've all gone to bed.
Sure.
I was just gonna say if we had a Drew to do cutaways, we need a cutaway like from the episode of South Park where he's all fat and playing World of Warcraft and he shits on the wall.
No, it's an amazing course, so it's worth it in the end. And then I'll just finish at 12 o'clock on the Sunday, go into bed and die for about 12 hours.
Sure, no problem at all. Is this next week?
No, this is on the 22nd of February, so there's a couple of weeks yet. I'm going to put my schedule together for what I'm going to be playing and this weekend.
Oh, amazing. Well, look, if I can join in at any time, I definitely will. If that's at Ian Plays Games, is that going to be on Mixer?
Ian Plays Games on Mixer, yeah. I'll probably post in the correct section of the Retro Replay Discord as well, just to see if we can get some more peeps over there. So
please do. Yes, absolutely. That's great. Dan, where can we find you at?
I could actually plug a little something myself.
But
go
ahead.
Part of that is you can find me at Stark Evil Vash on Twitch and Mixer and Instagram if you like. And I recently started doing a stream with Brandy, which we have tentatively called Reschool. We're reschooled right now.
Hey,
we started this past week. Abby actually joined in and watched us for a little bit, and I invite anyone who wants to pop in and see me and Brandy are playing the original God of War right now.
Oh.
She's never played it. The whole idea behind our stream is Brandy hasn't played a lot of old console games, and I've played a lot of them. So she's trying to appreciate some of the older stuff that's out there. And we've been thinking about it for a while, and we came on the idea that the first God of War would be a great place for her to start because, one, it's an amazing console game. She has God of War for PlayStation 4 and wants to play it. But I was like, I really think you should play the first games to really appreciate the story in the new one. And the new God of War is kind of hard and it's very complicated. There's a lot of buttons. She's not used to playing on a controller.
Okay. Oh yeah. Okay. Sorry. She's a PC gamer.
She's kind of like Nolan, in the beginning of level 1. Like he's learning, or we could say Uncharted definitive playthrough. She's learning. She's getting really good at it. She did an amazing job this last week learning how to, especially with the QuickTime events, pushing the button commands when they pop up on the screen, which she's never done before. So now we're going to start doing that every Wednesday. We're going to try and stream at roughly around 4 p.m. Central Time every Wednesday, and hopefully be playing through God and then another game after that. So we got that going on.
Great.
I myself am probably going to start trying to stream if and when I can, and I like to call that Roxum. Fill in the. Anyways, the other thing is you can find me on Twitter at StarkEvash. That is StarkYVash. Thank you.
Hey, wonderful. That'd be really cool. I cannot wait to pop on your stream and have a look at that. I'm so sorry.
Come say hi.
But I will, definitely.
My camera
also,
just
shout
freaked out.
to Abby, who is like the loyalist.
She really is.
Like, most motivational person ever. Like, you tune into the streams. Like, if I pop up something, like, you're commenting and liking everything. And, like, it's so freaking nice. Thank you so much, Abby. And it's so nice to see you on stream. So please join in more. Ian, it was so nice to have you on my stream recently. You can find me at pagan_plays on Twitch. On YouTube, it's just Pagan Plays. Twitter is just Pagan Plays. And Instagram is at pagan_plays. I'm streaming every Thursday. He's currently going through Hellblade. And then streaming in between whenever I can. Streaming in between, hopefully going to start properly actually streaming on Tuesdays. Which may be a game on Tuesday night, so we'll see. But I am still streaming Man of Medan, as Abby had recently referred to. First 5 minutes were jump scare central, then it got real boring. And then now it's back into jump scare central. So I might actually start playing that again because I think I've invested now and I don't want anybody to die. So I'll be back on that with my stream. So keep an eye out on the Twitter because I'll be uploading it there. Finally, thank you so much to Drew, Nolan, Troy, and PJ, and all of the cast and crew on Retro Replay. Thank you so much for everything you do. We've mentioned some of you before, so there it is. Thank you for everything you do, because without you, this Replayer podcast wouldn't exist. You can also now leave a message for us on the Replayer podcast by clicking the link in the show notes, and we'll be able to play it on the show. So if you've got any unpopular opinions or any comments that we've made today or on any previous episode, please send them in, and we might just play them on the show. We hope you've enjoyed our podcast, and if you'd like to hear more from us, please go ahead and like, subscribe, rate, and review, and provide comments. If you have any suggestions or questions, please feel free to pop us an email at thereplayerpodcast@gmail.com. Like us on Facebook as well. We're now on Facebook at The Replayer Podcast, and pop us a message if you would like to be on the show. If you've got any interest in being on the show, please do let us know. And also, don't forget the link to the survey is still active down below in the description notes. Feel free to give us your feedback. Just take 2 minutes to do it. We're just trying to make the show as best as it can be for you. And that's it. Thank you so much, Ian. Thank you so much, Abby, for joining us today. It's been so lovely to have you.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
You're welcome. Honestly,
Thank you so much
pleasure.
for being on with us and sharing with us.
Yeah, thank you so much. It's so nice
Letting
to
us
see you.
get to know you guys and all the wholesomeness.
A heart deep dive. A heart deep dive. Thank you so much for the heart to hearts. Looking forward to seeing you all on the members live chats. And live chats for Retro Replay and live chats for The Last of Us. That's game over, folks. Thanks. Bye.
See you there.
Bye.
Bye, guys.